Welcome, everybody, to another rousing round of Roseburg speakers and storytellers. I think I'm the only person in Oregon time. Welcome from around the world, wherever you may be. As you all know, Roseburg speakers and storytellers prides ourselves on three things. We are good storytellers, we like to have fun, and we like to learn. With that, let's turn it over to our president. Yay, our president's back. It's all yours, Yasmin.
Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. Welcome the members, welcome dear guests. And some of the past members who are no more past members, though they will come and join us soon again. Ajil, you are the only one here who is joining us for the first time. You are more than welcome. Would you like to introduce yourself? Okay, I think Ajil is trying to fix his camera. He will be with us a little later. Ajil, feel free to close on your video because we are going to have fun. And as you would see, we are all in a very relaxed mode today because that's what we are all here for. Feel free to sleep. So I'm going to hand over the meeting to our sleepy Toastmaster of the day, Yasmin Telwala. Here she is. I don't know if the word sleepy exists. Is there a word called sleepy? Well, there's one thing I know, and that is I love to sleep. Don't you all love to sleep? Okay. Do you all know the simple phenomena of sleep is really magical and is one of the blessing humans have. I specifically say human because my knowledge of animal kingdom is quite limited, but I am quite sure that there are some other animals who use sleep as a recharging mode as humans do. But for humans, we have special ability. We can just recharge ourselves with sleep. Sleep is going to be an interesting subject, but before I get into it, I want to know a little bit more about you all and about your sleeping patterns. I'm going to launch a poll. Let's see if I'm successful. Do you guys see the poll on your screen? If so, there are 3 simple questions. Please go ahead and answer them. "30 more seconds. The answers are coming. Oh. Some of you are still typing. It's simple 3 questions. Let's do it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and here we are done. Let's see how it looks like. Sleep is important. 89% say totally agree, meaning I take it as sleep is as important as living, or perhaps we are living because we are able to sleep. That's second important question that comes to our mind when we think about sleep, the sleeping hours. Like how many hours is it important to sleep? Less than 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours, 7 to 8 hours. And looks like we have a fantastic team here, a fantastic group of people who love to live long hours. Because 7 to 8 hours are optimal hours for a human body to recover, and most of us are within that range. The third question is extremely important because, as you would all know, the sleep comes in 5 stages. So scientists, broadly speaking, say that within 90 minutes for sleep, they're able to observe several brain patterns within humans. And the best and the most important is the pattern of deep sleep, which they call as beta waves. So that's where the brain gets maximum rest. It's always important that we find within our sleep hour or 2 hours where we are in really deep sleep. And we have some lucky people who are always in deep sleep. And there are some 67% of us who are not that much always in deep sleep. Okay, so that's an interesting pattern. Things around sleep will keep coming. I'll try to share more facts with you as we go ahead in our meeting. But let's get started with our Toastmaster meeting. And I would like to invite the role players to support the Toastmaster meeting to flow in its way, which is generally structured into 3 segments: prepared speeches, impromptu, and evaluation. We have role players to take us through this journey. It's a teamwork. And I would like to invite the auxiliary role players to begin with our, do I have, the timer is there, a grammarian? Okay. So here I have a challenge. How about giving ourselves a word of the day? Let's suggest whoever is quick and puts it in the chat first turns out to be our word of the day. Let's think anything creative. Oh, I already have one. Sorry, you guys lost it. There was one who was very fast and we had the word of the day, soporific, from Ravi. So Ravi, would you explain to us what does this word mean and how and where we can use it?
Sure, thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Yasmin. The word of the day, soporific, means something that makes you feel sleepy. And the first time I came across this, I think, was in a short story by O. Henry. It's one of my favorite short stories. I think it's called The Cop and the Anthem. If you haven't read it, I would recommend it. It's a real fun read.
Wow.
That's it. Back to you.
And I recommend, because Robbie came up with the word, that he keeps track of who uses it.
Okay,
How's that?
Super. So Ravi is our also impromptu grammarian who has given us the word of the day, soporific. So something that makes you feel sleepy. I'm sure, like me, for many of you, you have heard this word for the first time, soporific. So use this word and let's see who becomes the king or queen. I have timer Anuradha, who is a guest, but she has been here with us. I think she's here with us 4th time and she has taken the timer role. Anuradha, are you here and would you like to explain your role?
Greeting, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster and guest. As timer, I will time the table topic speakers, formal speeches, evaluations. I will also alert such speakers of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red card, which denotes specific times remaining. Table topic speakers should limit their remarks to no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise the green card. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. Those given speech should limit their remarks on their specific speech times. Most other speech should be 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 6 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. At 7 minutes, I will raise the red card. The individual evaluation should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 2 minutes 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. Anuradha, and we are looking forward for your report towards the end of the meeting. I have a impromptu a volunteer for our counter as well. It's Titin who has agreed to take up as our counter as well. Titin, would you like to elaborate your role?
Yes, thank you, Yasmin. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. I'm grateful to be in this meeting today and be the counter. My role as the counter is to take note and count the unnecessary words and sounds such as so you know, well, something of the sort. And I would like to offer 2 tips to reduce the filler words, which are to slow down a bit and pause when you are aware that you are about to say the filler words. I will present my report when called upon by the general evaluator. Thank you. Back to you, Yasmin.
Thank you so much. So let's be very mindful of our filler words because we have Titin here in the room. And in case you guys are thinking, when and why we compromise with our sleep, you have a live example. You can look at Melva. It is cases like this when we are extremely sleepy, but we have something we love or we are passionate about and we love to do. We are opening our eyes and compromising with our sleep. Now, this brings to another question. What is it that, we need some environment to sleep? It's not that, some of us are lucky enough to just put the head on the pillow, and then they are fast asleep. But for many, even preparation, there is a preparation for sleep. Would you like to quickly share in like 20 seconds in the chat, how do you guys prepare yourself for sleep? Or is it that you just get your head on the pillow and you are fast asleep? Pillow? How do you prepare yourself for sleep? Oh, very important, Ravi. Keep digital distractions away. If not, I will never fall asleep. Absolutely true. Mary has a wonderful idea. She listened to audiobook while she's sleeping. This is one of the best soporific. Oh my God, I wish I have pronounced that word correctly. Please do count for it. It is one of the best way to really tune your mind, like, okay, slowly gets off. Turn off the light. So important. It's because we connect, like as a human, we connect the rhythm, the sleep cycle with like darkness. Indeed important. I think one of the challenges, I have one more, Sarah. I slow down, prepare my room, down the lights, read a book, and then I became soporific. Extremely important. You have to actually live the process. Listen to TV or audiobooks. Okay, it helps. Most important with all the habits that we follow before the sleep is that we have to tell our brain that it cannot engage in active thinking. So all these strategies are designed towards passing on the message to our brain that now it does not do its regular function, because otherwise brain is alert, active, is in the problem solving mode. It keeps thinking, oh, I have an issue, how I'm going to solve this. We have to pass on the message. No, this is the time that you slowly get into the delta waves. As we get into the next session of our theme today, which is the prepared speech section. And we have 2 wonderful speakers today and equally wonderful evaluators for their speeches. I would like to invite our speaker first. The speaker first is Titin. Toastmaster Titin Ningesh is delivering her speech from the Pathways Dynamic Leadership, Evaluation and Feedback Project 2.
Can I just ask, who am I evaluating? I couldn't remember which speaker.
Yes. Titin will be evaluated by Stephen Louis. He's here with us. And Mary, you will be evaluating Ravi, the
Oh,
second
that's what I thought. Okay, thank you.
Yes. So Titan's speech will be evaluated by Stephen. Stephen's evaluation will in turn be evaluated by a you. So that is something that will come towards the later section in the evaluation section, but this is a note for the general evaluator Tiger to please note that Stephen will be evaluating the speech of Titan, and Stephen's evaluation will be evaluated by Ayu as it is a part of his project. And Ravi's speech, we have speaker 2 as Ravi and evaluator 2 as Mary. So the title of Titan's speech is The Missed Phone Calls. The Missed Phone Calls. Speaker Titan. Titan, the floor is yours.
Have you ever talked to a non-living things, such as a table, a tree, or the sky? Well, I have. On a fine evening, after a long and tiring day of working, I stood in front of my learning center, staring at it for several minutes, and I started to talk to the building. I called it Bob the building. Hey, Bob, are you working for me or am I working for you? Then I imagine Bob talking back to me. Titin, you work for me. What? I have been pouring all my time, energy, and thoughts from Monday to Friday and even on Saturday to think how to make my learning center flourish. And when I do that, I would neglect all other things, such as the phone call from my mom. Oh, I know already that my mom would call me to ask me to drink plenty of water, to have my lunch, and to eat the fruits which she has put on my table several hours ago. I know already what she was going to tell me, so why should I pick up her phone call? Until one cloudy morning, my mom could not get out from her bed. She got a stroke attack. My father rushed her to the hospital so that she could get the promptest treatment. And even in the hospital, my mom was still being my mom. She asked my dad whether I have had my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Unfortunately, my mom passed away 3 months later. On the day she passed away, it was the first time I skipped my lunch. At first, I really thought that skipping a meal or two would cause me to die. But to my surprise, I didn't. I got slimmer instead. When my mom was not by my side, I lost my enthusiasm to live. I did not have interest to live anymore. The days which used to spark joy to me seemed to be very dull. I still remember how she meticulously prepared meals for me for 29 years of my life before she passed away. Well, one thing that made me very grateful was we managed to visit our hometown several months before she passed away. We went to West Borneo, our hometown. Fellow Toastmasters, life is shorter than we think. So cherish and treasure every moment that we have with our loved ones. My phone is not the same anymore without the incoming phone calls from my mom, which I usually neglect. So, fellow Toastmasters, before your phone doesn't feel the same anymore, call your mom right now. Call your loved one, your parents, your siblings. I mean, not now, but after this meeting has ended, tell them that you love them. Ask them, how was their day going? Well, I consider myself to be lucky. I still have my father by my side. So whenever he calls me, even though I'm very, very busy, I would immediately pick up his phone call because our family is the main reason and our priority why we work so hard. So, Bob, you work for me. I don't want to work for you anymore so that there won't be any missed phone calls. Toastmaster of the day.
Nitin, it will take me a few seconds to come back. It was such a deep message. Really thought-provoking speech, Nitin. I am sure it has raised sort of feelings amongst many of us and realization that we should not ignore our family. Thank you for the message, Titin. Okay, I would like to go next to our speaker too, but before I do that, just a quick check for 10 seconds. How many of you think you are sleep deprived? Just raise of hand, even virtual hand. How many of you believe that you are sleep deprived? Just Ravi. Oh, looks like everyone else is having enough sleep. Ravi, if in case you feel you are sleep deprived, then do take holidays and get sleep, because sleep deprivation is a serious issue. We might not realize it, but it leads to intense fatigue, which could culminate into several ways. It impairs concentration, it could lead to emotional irritability, it has response to our immune system, and it makes us hugely vulnerable. So please take sleep deprivation seriously. As seriously as we do take our second speaker, who is our VPE, and Ravi has a speech prepared today from the pathways and project. Ravi, do you have any specific pathway?
No, Yasmin, it's actually a speech I'm still drafting and toying around with for upcoming contest.
Super. So it's like it's like a speech where he would love to have receive feedback. So
Yes.
I hope we're gonna have wonderful feedback which will benefit Ravi and all of us. And Mary, She is here to evaluate the speech of Ravi. So Ravi, your speech title is What Kind of a Person? What kind of a person, ladies and gentlemen? Please welcome Ravi as speaker 2. Ravi, the floor is yours.
Imagine you were in a situation and you needed somebody's support, or perhaps just a kind word, something to comfort you. What if the actions or the behavior of somebody who was with you made you think, what kind of a person are they? Now imagine you were in the same situation and you heard a comforting word or just a pat on the back for somebody from somebody who said they're there with you. The actions and behavior of that person would make you think, what a kind person they are. What kind of a person are they? What a kind person they are. If you had to choose between these two, which one would you pick? In the last few years of my life, I've been through quite a few difficult situations myself. Not just me, my family as well. And now that I look back, I've got a few examples that I'd like to share with you where I came across people that said one or the other to me. Not only that, I think I was in a situation where I said something similar to other people as well. And I would want to share my experiences with you. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, what kind of a person are you? What a kind person you are. There's hardly one or two words that are different from the two, but there's a huge difference in the meaning that these questions have. The first situation is from my workplace. I had started working with a team for the very first time. And this team, unlike any other team that I had worked with, sat in a room all by themselves, all day long in the workplace. There was an amazing camaraderie amongst everybody in the room. And there was not a single moment where anyone felt soporific throughout the workday. However, there was this one person who would always keep track of when somebody entered the room, when they left the room, how long were they in the room with everybody else, and how long were they away from it. Somebody you might have heard of is typically called a micromanager. You see, I had two jobs. I would be part of people in this room, and I also had a customer that I used to work with for a couple of hours every day, and therefore I wouldn't be in the room at all. The kind of reception I got was, I would enter the room and this person would say, "Hey stranger, good to finally see you today." I didn't know how to react. I would just say, "Hi." But in my mind, I was thinking, what kind of a person are they? This went on for a while. And the person finally complained to my manager and said, "Ravi is never in the room when we want him." Luckily for me, it was this same manager that I was spending a couple of hours with all the time. The manager came to my defense and said, no, every time you see Ravi missing from there, he's sitting with me." I never got to know about this from my manager, but somebody else told me about this. And that left me thinking about my manager. Wow, what a kind person they are. The second situation is from my experience as a volunteer, as part of a voluntary group that I joined about a couple of years ago. To be honest, I was voluntold into joining this group. I really had no time or energy because of the pandemic and because of a lot of challenges, and I had moved to another city to be with another set of folks at home. However, I was voluntold and I was told, "Hey, you will get all the support you need." So I took up the role. Guess what? A couple of months into this role, where I took every responsibility seriously, I got zero support. The two people that gave me all the that gave me all of the that gave me all of the knowledge and said that they would support me were not there for me when I needed them most. I was really disappointed, and I went out of my way to tell them, I think in pretty harsh words, that I was very much let down by them. However, when I think back now to that time, I think they thought, what kind of a person is Ravi? And that was a chance that I missed, when I had the opportunity for them to think, what a kind person is a guy like Ravi. My third experience in such a situation is as a son. Last year, my dad was visiting his hometown. All of a sudden, we got a call saying that my dad had been admitted to the intensive care unit. Everything was okay. It was just out of an abundance of caution, and that he would be out of the hospital in a couple of days. Well, he was in a different city. My mom and I and my wife were shell-shocked. We rushed to the other city, and we were confident he'd be okay because that's the report the doctor gave us. In fact, by all appearances, he was much more active than I ever was, or anyone who's my age was. However, those hopes were dashed. He didn't make it. We were in a state of shock. You see, for the last 7 years, my wife and I had been staying with my dad and my mom, and I was completely dependent on my dad for every small thing, because I'd been away from home for a very long time and I did not know how the system worked. While we were recovering, these are some of the questions that people asked. A neighbor asked me, was it a heart attack? Was it a stroke? Was it the first time? Did he have it multiple times? I told them, doesn't matter. He's gone. Your statistic is not going to get him back. A friend asked me, how did you and your mom let him travel all by himself? A relative asked me, after seeing me shed tears every single day during the funeral rites, he told me, I never cried when my father died. Why are you crying? I thought to myself, is this what you expect from a neighbor, from a relative, from a friend? What kind of a person are these people? Fellow Toastmasters and guests, there are many instances in our lives where our actions or our behavior may make somebody think, what kind of a person are they? Whenever you have such an opportunity, choose your actions and behaviors such that the person thinks of you, what a kind person they are. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Ravi, for being such a kind person and share your story and have with lots of lessons, life lessons. So thank you for all that wisdom. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to get going. After two wonderful speeches, we have the most exciting session of any Toastmaster meeting waiting. And the session becomes all the more thrilling, exciting, and with a lot of curiosity if you have a wonderful Toastmaster running the table topic session. And yes, that is the case. We have Sarah today, who is going to be our table topic master. And I can't tell you how eagerly I'm waiting to see the table topics and your response. So without any further delay, the floor is yours, Sarah. Please take it away.
Thank you, Yasmin. I hope these table topics are today everything but not soporific. So I expect great participation from you. Remember, you have 2 minutes to prepare a very short speech with introduction, development, and a good conclusion. And don't forget to use the word of the day. I will give you a topic related with sleep. And this is the title of your short speech that you need to deliver. And the first one is sleep is the best meditation. Sleep is the best meditation. E.T.
Oh, hello, Sarah. Sleep is the best meditation? Yes? Okay, great. Okay, I'll time. So, can you hear me before I start? Yes, okay. Thank you. Wow, nice. Very lama. Sleep is the best meditation. Ladies and gentlemen, the Toastmasters. I really love about this quote by Dalai Lama. Because yes, I am a person who cannot really concentrate and focus to meditate myself. So the best option for me is to go to sleep. Well, maybe I like a computer. There is a restart button, sleep button, and shutdown button. So I just click the sleep button on my brain. And then I go into the sleep mode. And when I go to the sleep mode here, sometimes I feel like my mind or my brain is still thinking, what should I eat tomorrow in the morning? Where should I go in the afternoon to meet new friends, new relatives, or new customers? And then the last but not least, what is the best company to help me become super fit? Because I need to burn all of my energy. I have a lot of energy. If you know me, I'm someone with a lot of energy that I cannot stop speaking. Even though the timer is trying to make me shut down my mouth. So yes, the ember is there. And I would like to give you a brief conclusion about this. So for those of you who wants to get a great practice of meditation, the first step that you can do or you can try is sleep. Once you practice good sleep in every single day, like 6 to 8 hours, you can also practice your meditation. So yes, my fellow meditation partner, let's sleep together. Not together as around us, but in the same time. Back to you, TTM.
Thank you, E.T. Sleep is the best meditation. Thank you for your thoughts. Sleeping is very important as meditate. And maybe it's a good start. Why not? Now I will move on to the next topic. We already know from the survey from Jasmine that we can all sleep very well, but maybe for the ones that cannot, we have some suggestions and some pieces of advice from the grandma. So maybe Melba, you want to share with us some suggestions from your grandma to sleep well?
Oh, my grandma's suggestion to sleep well. Okay, actually, I already forgot about it, and I just find some way how to sleep tight. That is 4 seconds. You take a deep breath and count for 4 seconds. Hold on, and then out it. And repeat for 3 times, and then sleep. it's the best way to sleep tight, or probably you have so many thoughts in my mind, you can't sleep. Just try that way. I find it that way from YouTube actually, how military sleep in that condition. Sometimes, I'm overthinker. I have a lot on my mind, just like what should I do with next, and how about at the time, am I hurting someone or something like that? My mind always speaking. So sometimes it destroy me a lot. And then I trying how to solve it. I found it. 4 seconds to take a deep breath, hold on, and out it. Repeat for 3 times and then turn off the light and get into blanket. I swear you get sleep tight. I think that's it. Back to you, Sarah. I need to get sleep right now.
Thank you, Melba. That's a very good suggestion. I will try it today and I will see if it's soporific for me too. I will give another topic for a short speech. And the topic is never waste any time you can spend sleeping. Never waste any time you can spend sleeping. Tiger, do you like to take this?
No, but I will. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, I will give you the title of your speech and you prepare a very short speech, 2 minutes with introduction, development, and conclusion. And the title is Never Waste Any Time You Can Spend Sleeping.
So sleeping for me is an interesting phenomenon. I am bipolar. So one thing that's critical is that I have a schedule. I go to bed between 10 and 11. I get up usually between 5 and 6. When that schedule gets interrupted, I become discombobulated. One thing that my dad told me, actually it was my grandfather told me, any day that you can get in a nap, that's a good day. Now as a kid, I'm thinking, why would I need a nap? I love life. Go, 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 go. I'm not going to mention my age. Well, actually, I'm 47. I am telling you right now that I work into my schedule because I can make my own schedule somewhat with my teaching. I always work into my schedule a 2-hour break in the afternoon so that I can take a nap. I love taking a nap. I usually have a list of things I have to get done before I take a nap to earn it. And then I take about a 45-minute nap. Get up, drink a little bit of caffeine, and boom, I'm off and running again. So let me repeat that. Any day you can get in a nap, that's a good day. Mary's like, yeah, I get it. I'm retired. I'm all about that. You young people, yeah, I know. You're thinking, I don't need a nap. So to conclude, sleep is extremely important. Your nighttime sleep is absolutely critical. Take a nap. Even if it's just a quick power nap, I'm telling you, you're going to feel better. Back to you, Sarah.
Great suggestion, Tiger, taking a nap during the day. And the next one, please tell us about your new book, Sleeping is the Best Medicine. Please tell us about this book. Mary, do you want to take this? Sleeping is the best medicine.
Yes, fellow Toastmasters and guests, this is author Mary Pearson coming to you with my new book, Sleeping is Important, I believe was the title of my book.
It's the best medicine.
Is the best medicine. And truly it is. Your body needs fuel by food, but it also needs to be fueled by relaxation and sleep. And so when you aren't feeling well, it's very important that you give yourself time to rest even more than you typically do, so that your body can replenish and strengthen itself to combat any diseases or sicknesses that you have. So if you buy my book and help me become very rich, I will take you with me on trips that will have lots of time to sleep and work on being healthy. Because as she said, as my book tells you many times, that you can't beat sleep for curing things. It is the best medicine. Looking for my timer here. So in conclusion, the three things I think you want to have lots of water. You want to have good food to nourish your body, but most importantly, you want to make sure that you get an adequate time of rest when you're healthy. But when you're sick, even more importantly, you need to give your body time to rest and recuperate. It can't beat sleep. It is the best medicine. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you for those great suggestions. It was a great table topic session. I think I will take all your suggestions from Melba about breathing, from Tiger about taking a nap, about meditation while sleeping, from E.T., and from Mary for sure about the medicine, about drinking water and also sleeping enough, etc. So thank you very much for your participation. It was not soporific at all, and I give the word back to our Toastmaster of the day, Jasmine.
Thank you, Sarah. I expected this. I expected a session full of, stories, some sort of sharing of experiences, and it was the case. And I'm not gonna disappoint you guys, because you really touched upon very critical things I wanted to bring to your attention. First, sleeping hours are not important, but maintaining sleeping schedule is important. Some studies have shown it is more important to have the same time of getting up rather than sleeping. Because when we get up, we give the body enough time to know that now it can prepare itself for sleep. So make sure that you try to keep the same routine as to get up when you get up. Second, age. It's not that for all the age and all the physiology, we need equal amount of sleep. Young children tend to sleep a lot because their body needs more energy, and it's a big mechanism. As we age, definitely we have reduced sleeping hours. And this is also because the body at that stage does not need that much sleep. So you might have seen some of the elderly people with reduced sleeping hours. For females in particular, they have several phases in their lives where they have hormonal experiences, and during that time the sleeping patterns change. So the sleeping patterns and the sleeping hours are really related to our physiology and our age. So don't compare your sleeping hours with anyone. Tailor make it to yourself and what works best for you. An important thing, don't forget, without no sleep, no dreams. Without no dreams, no purpose in life. So dream well, and if we have to dream, we have to sleep well. With this, I'm going to give the stage to the general evaluator who was here with us, and I hope there wasn't anything so soporific that made him sleep. He is for sure not on a short nap. Okay, let me utilize the time until Tiger finishes his nap. Is the importance of nap. It's extremely important to nap because nap is also sort of scheduled with short sleep. Ideally, they say that we can nap between 90 minutes to multiply to like 180 minutes. Try to avoid long sleep, because if you sleep longer during a nap, you are confusing the body with a long sleep pattern. And when you wake up, then perhaps you feel more tired. Mr. General Evaluator. Okay, so Mr. General Evaluator is there. He has.
Hey, how about that? I was taking a nap. You
We
woke me
guessed
up.
so. We guessed so. We guessed so. We
So
guessed.
evaluator number one, I believe this is his first evaluation. So Stephen, it's all yours, and then IU is going to evaluate Stephen's evaluation. So this will be very interesting.
Thank you, Tiger. Actually, this is my first time to evaluate T-Team. So T-Team continues to be a strong speaker and deliver a very powerful speech to all of us. So I will evaluate her in terms of several dimensions. First is the language. So clarity, in terms of clarity, T-Team spoken language is very clear and is easily understood. This is the first one. The number two is vocal variety. T-Team using tone, speed, volume as tools. This is very great. And the second dimension is the organization. T-Team using a very organization way, structure way. First, he using a story. He speak to the learning center building, Bob, from the two-way question and feedback, and then bring up a story to all of us. When he lost her mom, and every day her mom will prepare the meal for her and prepare eating the meals for 29 years. This is really touching me deeply. Okay, so eating using a very structure, organization way to deliver a strong message to all of us. The number three dimension is the value. So teaching delivery a very strong universal value. Using her words, the family is the main reason for our priorities. This is number one. Number two, she mentioned life is short. We should cherish with our loved ones. This is he delivered a very universal value to all of us. We should cherish our loved ones, our family members. If you lost, you will not, they will not come back again. The last one dimension is the emotion. Teaching use a very strategic way, emotion. Remember at the last part of her speech, he was very angry and tear down the paper and to say no, I will not work for you anymore. So to have a very powerful ending. So that's all from my observation and the takeaway. Thank you all. And back to you, Tiger.
Thank you so much, Stephen. We're very curious to see listen to, IU's evaluation. So I'm going to give IU a little bit of time to prepare, and during that, I will have Mary evaluate our speaker number 2, Ravi.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Once again, welcome fellow Toastmasters and our guests if he's still here. I had the pleasure of evaluating Ravi's speech, and I certainly was not made to feel sorific. Let's see, I had it down. Soporific. I was wide awake and very engaged in Ravi's speech. He started us out with a good opening. He asked a question to engage us into what he was going to talk about. What kind of person are you? And he proceeded to talk about some situations that were very important in his life and the emotions that came out of it by the responses of people he always felt were very kind, but yet they acted and their words were opposite of the type of person that they felt they were. It made me think about similar situations where people had, I don't think on purpose, but had hurt me by their words and actions, not needing to, but sometimes how important we need to remember that we always use kind words and kind actions to support the kind of person we are. I like that he wove that. What kind of person is that throughout the speech? He wove that title in. Great gestures. I like the ones where you did the balancing. I think that was very effective. And the patting on the back. But I'm going to slip in a suggestion on that. Your hands moved quite frequently throughout the speech. And sometimes they hover just at the bottom of the screen. So I might see part of the hand gesture. Make your gestures meaningful. Use it to enhance a certain point. And when you're not using gestures that way, practice trying to keep them at your side or in your lap if you're sitting. That would be one suggestion. Great vocal variety. I liked how you got in character when you told your stories, changed your voice for the different people that you were referring to. I thought that was excellent. I liked how you used personal stories to support your thing, that the kind of person you are is measured by your actions and your words. And they were ones that the stories were contrary, that people did not act the way that they were supposed to be, being kind, unkind things. So if I could make a suggestion there is you might want to change one of your stories to be a more positive story, one that did use the right words and actions, or the importance of just being there. You talked about the people that weren't there and how it hurt you. Maybe the ones that did show up were the ones that were there at your time of your father's death, that gave you the comfort and support you needed. A little positive there. I liked, sorry, I had ones that I was saying. Very moving stories, I said. They definitely touched me. So I always say as part of my evaluation, how did it affect me? It affected me, definitely had an emotional contrast. Good speech, definitely one that'll do for a contest. I see I'm out of time, so keep working on it, Ravi. It's almost there, but it's going to be a great international speech. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so
I
much,
need
Mary.
to pull the hook and pull me off. I can't be quiet. Stephen and I have the, or Ita, is it ET and I have the same problem. We can't stop talking.
One thing I can say for sure about your evaluation, it was not soporific. Thank you. That was very good. Notice that she gave a lot of things that she liked, and she also gave very specific recommendations. I appreciate that. My only evaluation for Mary is you stopped to look at your notes and you got a little stuck. So I think that you're good enough that you actually don't need notes. Just my opinion, but that is my only recommendation for correction. Thank you so much for a great evaluation. All right, we will move on to IU, who is going to evaluate an evaluation. This is a unique thing. IU, the virtual podium's all yours.
I am impressed because you were listening very careful to Titin. You even repeat some of the Titin speech. So I know that you were listening very carefully. So two things that I like about your evaluation to Titin. One, the first one is you are doing saying all the good things first, right? Sandwich method in Toastmaster, you are doing the commendation. Okay, but this sandwich is not complete, so I will mix it a little bit here with the room for improvement for you. So, okay, sorry, let me repeat. The first one, I like that you use the structure, open and then praise, but you miss the meat, you miss the recommendation, and then you doing a praise again. Number two is timing. You finish your evaluation, perfect, not more than 3 minutes 30 seconds. So it's good. Okay, now the recommendation for you to improve your evaluation, Stephen. We need to have at least 1 minute for Titin recommendation. When you say something that you see, I know Titin is hard to, it is hard to find flaw in Titin, you know, speech. Everything is good. But I look at with practice, you will be able to do this. One solution, one thing that I see, Titin finish her speech in 6:31, 6 minutes 31 seconds. We probably can say, Titin, you still have at least 30 seconds. You probably want to stretch your speech a little bit. So, you know, slowly, this is your first time. You cannot find, because I have a hard time what to say to Titin, what to recommend Titin, right? So this is slowly, but when you, with the good intention, we really want to give a speaker at least 1 recommendation. Okay, so try harder to do that. Stephen, keep practicing. I see you that you are very determined person. You keep coming to the meeting despite of all your busy working schedule. Sometimes you don't have time to meet me as your mentor. I am okay with that because you are coming all the time. And every time you get this evaluation, you listen. So I thank you for that. And I believe you will be better and better every meeting. Thank you, Stephen. And over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, IU. And again, an evaluation where she mentioned a lot of good things that Stephen did and also gave him some recommendations. That is valuable. And Stephen, listen and just apply the recommendations in the future. That was an excellent evaluation for your first time. Evaluations are probably one of the most difficult things that we do in Toastmasters. So thank you very much. And thank you very much, IU, for giving him a valuable evaluation of his evaluation. Whew, say that 3 times real fast. Let's move on. Ravi, you're gonna have to help me out here. Are you the grammarian? Are you the...
Yes, I am the grammarian in that I've only jotted down the people who've used the word of the day today, and that is all the grammar I have time for, I think, so that you don't all fall asleep. So the word of the day today was soporific, and it was used twice by Yasmin and twice also by Sarah. I also heard Mary and Tiger use it once each, and I think I also slipped it in somewhere when I was speaking. Apart from this, I didn't really hear anybody use the word, but I may be mistaken. I also had to step away for a couple of minutes, so I may have missed some of our folks if they used the word of the day. One other word that I really liked that was used, and I haven't seen it used very often, is discombobulated. That's a very it's a mouthful, if I can put it that way. And I heard Tiger use it. So I thought soporific was a mouthful until Tiger used that word. And so I felt much better that I did not give a very complicated word of the day. At the
And
risk of
Robbie,
people,
Robbie, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I very much appreciated that your word of the day was directly related to the topic of the day. Thank you so much.
thanks, Tiger. And at the risk of people falling asleep, if I keep talking any further, I'll give it back to you. General Evaluator.
Well, I was on the verge of falling asleep, but I woke up very quickly because Yasmin called my name. Let's move on to our timer because I think that we did not have an odd counter today. Am I correct in that assumption, Miss Toastmaster?
Titin is our account.
Titan's our odd counter. Beautiful. Okay, thank you. Titan, can we have your report?
Yes, thank you, General Evaluator. So here is my counter report. Not many. I think you are all doing very well, making my work a lot easier. I heard that Ilyas had 1 ow, and then 1 and 1 so. Melva had 1 o, 1 and 1 you know. Buayu had 1 so and 1 ah. That's all. So this awareness will hopefully provide added motivation for us to cut out the filler words from our speeches. It is all from me. Thank you, and back to you, Tiger.
Thank you very much. That was short and sweet and to the point. Perfect. You had 1 so. And I recognize so's because I'm horrible at so's. It's something I've had to work on very, very hard. Let's go to our timer. Thank you so much for being here and taking on this role at the last second. I know you put all the times in the chat, but can you go ahead and give us a conclusion?
Yeah. For prepare a speech, speaker 1, Titin, takes 6 minutes 31 seconds, and speaker 2, Ravi, takes 8 minutes 24 seconds. For table topic speech, 1, Ilyas Theophilus, takes 2 minutes 16 seconds, and Malva takes 1 minute 45 seconds, and Tiger take 1 minute 46 seconds, and Mary Pearson take 1 minute 31 seconds. For evaluator first Stephen Lewis takes 3 minutes 22 seconds, and second evaluator Mary takes 3 minutes 32 seconds, and Ayu takes 3 minutes 14 seconds. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much. Again, thank you for being here and taking on this role at the last second. That was excellent. And again, thank you for putting the times in the chat. That is very helpful for everybody. Before moving on to my general evaluation, I have a test. I'm going to mention something that was said. Everybody unmute. And if you said it, don't cheat. Let's find out how we listen today real quick. Who said, I love to sleep? Go ahead and unmute yourself, everybody. It's okay. Unmute yourself. And just if you have the answer, yell it out. Who said, I love to sleep?
Jasmine.
Yasmin. Perfect start to the meeting. I love to sleep. Have you ever talked to a non-living thing? Who said that?
Titin.
That was Titan. Okay. Raise your hand if you've ever talked to a non-living thing. I had a wonderful conversation with a tree. That's a story for another time. Who said, in order to sleep, I turn off the lights? I thought that was hilarious. Well, I wish that's all it took. Who said, in order to sleep, I turn off the lights? Melva, thank you. Who said, somebody called a micromanager?
Ravi.
Ravi. What's funny is Ravi's a micromanager himself. Just kidding. Who said sleep is the best medicine? It was actually,
Sarah.
yes. Sarah said
Sarah.
it. And then, of
Sorry.
course, it was repeated by the table topics. Okay, now this is a little bit of a trick question. Bear with me. What was the title of Mary's book that's going to make her very rich?
Sleep is the best medicine.
Again, it's a little bit of a trick question because she said something at the beginning and then corrected herself.
Sleep is important.
Very good. Thank you. Sleep is important. Everybody go out and buy her
Pretty
book.
sad the author doesn't know the name of her book. huh?
We want Mary to be rich so she can pay for all of our dues.
Yes.
Who said any day that you can take a nap is a good day?
Tiger.
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 Who said that really touched me deeply?
Even?
Stephen.
Stephen, thank you. Very good. Very good. And last but not least, it is hard to find a flaw in her speech.
Stephen.
Are
Are you?
It was IU giving
you?
Stephen a little bit of encouragement,
yes.
saying, I know it's hard to find a flaw in her speech.
Hard to evaluate.
Perfect. Thank you. So now my general evaluation, I gave a general evaluation pretty much of all the evaluators. I do that right away because I have some timers I can't remember. So I do it right away. Overall, the meeting started on time. The SAA was fantastic as usual. Our Toastmaster, notice I breezed through that very quickly. Our Toastmaster of the day started us out with a very good explanation about sleep and why sleep is important. I thought that was excellent. A great topic. Why do I know it's a great topic? Because Sarah picked up on it and gave us all prompts that had to do with sleep, and everybody had great things to say. Table topics was fantastic. They were excellent prompts. And the fact that everybody spoke for well over a minute is an indication that the questions were good and thoughtful. Thank you, Sarah. The evaluations were very good. Mary, appreciate your evaluation. Stephen, for the first time, that was awesome. I cannot tell you how good it was. And even though IU gave you a lot of recommendations, that's okay. That's part of Toastmasters, to take recommendations and apply them. IU, thank you so much. That is a unique thing to evaluate an evaluation. That's a little bit difficult because we don't do it very often. So thank you so much, IU. Overall, this was a great meeting. You guys know I love RSS and we've had a lot of good meetings. I would put this one in the top 10 for sure. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much.
Oh, our timer. Oh, I forgot the timer. Thank you again for being here and for putting the times in the chat. Now back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Tiger. Okay. Maybe some quick facts from me, or maybe quick questions. Do you guys think we can sleep with open eyes? Or let me put it like that. Do you sleep with open eyes?
I had a brother that did. It was scary.
Okay, I want to introduce you to another interesting phenomena in case you don't know about it. It's called rapid eye movement, REM. The rapid eye movement during the sleep. So when we are sleeping, the stage after the deep sleep, we tend to have very rapid eye movement, and those are connected to the brain movement, and that's the phase when we start dreaming. So with this note that sleeping is important and it's equally important to dream, I want to thank you all and wish you all a wonderful sleep always, because that's, don't forget what we learned through Sarah, but comes from Dalai Lama, that sleep is meditation. So do meditate every day regularly. Your body needs it. Thank you. And I would like to thank everyone. I believe we have, under the name of Galaxy, Shelley. so that Ravi, you can sleep, not wondering who this person is. And would love to see you all again. Please join us, same time, same meeting link next week. But do stay, because we will continue our discussion and we will set agenda for the next meeting. But here I would officially adjourn our meeting.